Hey everyone, and welcome back to R5 Productions. I'm Nancy Ridgway, the artistic director, and tonight we are thrilled to present the third installment of our Playhouse series, an original work presented in the classic radio format. This year's theme was haunted. We have one more show to come up, so keep an eye out for a link this week, as well as a feature on our cast and playwright. Hang around after the show tonight to meet the cast for a short talk back. Tonight we present Murmurs by Sarah Stryker. Sarah is a playwright, actor, and director based out of Philadelphia. She has a 2022 master's from Villanova and studied playwriting at the National Theater Institute in 2023. She is a member of the Strides Collective, which fosters the work of queer playwrights. Her short play Against the Wind was a finalist at the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival in 2023. Okay, on to the show. As a house can be haunted, so can a body. An unwelcome resident can hide within the sovereign walls and change the atmosphere of the dwelling. Tonight, we explore the complexity of desire and fear that comes with pregnancy, and how a blessing can transform into a curse when one's body no longer feels like one's home.
Sleep, baby, sleep. Your father tends the sheep. Your mother shakes the dreamland tree, and from it fall sweet dreams for thee. Sleep, baby, sleep. Sleep, baby.
What was that?
Nothing, just a tape.
It's a sweet poem.
That was not sweet.
Was that your mom?
On one of her good days, yes,
Huh. Did she record herself?
I recorded her. I recorded everything as a kid.
Ooh, like a little detective.
Her.
You should keep it.
Why?
We can play for our own little bundle of joy.
I don't think so.
Why not?
It doesn't have ears yet.
When it has ears, you should play it for her.
Her?
Her.
We don't know the sex yet.
Something tells me it's a her.
Why?
It must be your sugar and spice and everything nice disposition.
You're joking.
Very much so.
Funny.
Thank you.
I'm getting rid of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't throw it out.
Well, I'm not keeping it here. We need to clear this room of all of our pre-parental junk and paint it yellow and make it nice.
Jane, we have that whole storage locker. Let's pack it away for when the little nugget goes to college. You might want it someday.
Fine, Damon, but you put it in the box. I don't want to deal with it.
Your wish is my command. You never talk about your mom.
Nothing to talk about.
She really that terrible?
It's hard to remember. Most of it is just darkness, but I get flashes of one time when she was really off her rocker. She came into my room in the middle of the night and wrenched my bed from the wall and tore all my dresser drawers out and started screaming about hiding something. Where had I hidden something?
Why?
No clue. I'm sure I did hide something, but I don't remember. It's just darkness. The body knows, though. When she would come near me, my whole body would tense. I couldn't move until she was gone. When she was gone, suddenly I could breathe again.
Well, it won't be like that for us.
No.
Come here, you crazy lady. Oh, what is it, Robbie?
He never liked when we kiss.
What did you find, buddy? Jane, is this your phone?
What?
This.
Oh, yeah.
Is it recording?
Yep. I'm recording everything. The doctor's visits, the morning sickness, everything.
My little detective.
If I can record it, then I can keep track of it. I can know when something goes wrong, the instant. I can trace it back to its root.
What do you mean when something goes wrong?
I don't know what I mean, Damon. I just want to have a touchstone, something that keeps me tethered.
Oh, I'll keep you tethered, baby.
I want something that I can actually control. I don't want to be like her.
You're not like her.
I don't want to become like her.
You won't become like her. I promise.
Good afternoon. You're Jane and Damon.
We sure are.
Hi.
I'm Dr. Brody.
So nice to meet you, Dr. Brody. You come very highly recommended.
Oh, that's always nice to hear. How are you feeling today, Jane?
I'm fine. Normal.
We haven't had any morning sickness yet, but when it comes, we're ready for it. I set up a bucket next to the bed with some mints.
I have had morning sickness.
You have?
Yes.
When?
Yesterday,
The mints weren't opened,
I brushed my teeth.
but there was nothing in the bucket.
I went in the toilets.
Oh, you should have told me.
That I threw up?
Yes,
I'm telling you now.
you should have told me when it happened. I want to be there for every part of the miracle growing inside you.
Okay. Next time, I'll send you a picture of the toilet bowl.
Damon, we love an invested father, but at the first visit, I like to speak with the mother one-on-one, just to get acquainted, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Why would I mind? Unless, Jane, do you need me to stay?
I'll be fine with Dr. Brody. I promise we won't say a word about bodily fluids until you're back in the room.
Okay. Well, I'll be right outside.
There are seats in the waiting room right down the hall.
Then I'll be in the waiting room down the hall.
Sorry about him.
Not at all. It's much better than the alternative.
Which is?
Disinterested and absent.
I guess if those are the options, yeah, I'd choose him.
So, based on your chart, it looks like you're about 4 weeks along. Congratulations.
Thank you. It wasn't really planned, but Damon is so excited, and it seemed like time.
Parenthood is absolutely daunting, but it's so worth it.
If I can just get through pregnancy. You have kids?
2 boys.
Are boys hard?
My boys? They're pretty wild, but they're forthright too. You always know what you're going to get.
Damon wants a girl.
What do you want?
Just a little assurance that it's going to work out.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Now, 4 weeks is a little early for morning sickness.
Is it?
Nothing to worry about. Still very normal. Any other symptoms?
I mean, fatigue, but that could just be modern existence.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes.
no, nothing. It's not a symptom. I don't know if it says on my chart anything about my family history, but my mom, um, she was never officially diagnosed, but there was a lot of abuse in her family when she was a kid, and when she became a mom, she kind of she lost it a little, like rage, and I don't know. I just want to make sure that doesn't happen to me.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I guess you should know that.
Thank you for letting me know. Your records don't indicate. Is your mom still alive?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't believe so. I don't keep in contact with her. So, are there like pills that I can take to prevent that?
To prevent.
Rage, psychosis?
I can't prescribe antipsychotic medication, but before you consider that, do you see anyone, like a therapist or anyone?
I'm not really. Bobby, here. This dog. It's 3:25 a.m. I'm in the kitchen. I left Damon asleep upstairs. I had a dream. I'm standing at the end of a long hallway and it's dark. And there's someone there at the other end, a darker shape against the darkness, and it's moving. I can make out like hair. And there's music, a song. I know the tune, but I don't know the words. And I don't want to go down there. So I walk in the other direction. But when I look back, the dark shape is right where it was. But the hallway has gotten shorter. The shape is closer now, and I can see it's holding something in its arms, long arms. So I try to run. I run as fast as I can the other direction until I reach a door, and I look back, and there it is. The shape. An arm's length from me now. I can see long hair, and I hear crying. It turns its face to me, and I see her eyes. My mother's eyes peering out of the inky darkness, luminescent. She needs help. She hands the thing she's holding to me. I shake my head, no, I don't want it, but she pushes it to my chest. I shake my head emphatically, no. I can't speak. I can't move. She reaches long fingers toward my cheek. She smiles. So many teeth. Her fingers close behind my ear. Her jaw slowly opens. And I wake up. Damon is dead to the world. Everything is normal, except I still hear the music coming from somewhere outside. So I come downstairs, but now I'm in the kitchen and I don't hear it anymore. Probably scam. Nobody in their right mind would call this late.
Jane,
Jesus, Damon, you scared me.
what are you doing up?
I just needed some water.
Why didn't you wake me?
Tell you I needed water?
I would have gotten you some.
I can get my own water.
Are you recording again?
Yeah, I had a dream, so on my way to getting water, I was recounting the dream.
What was it about?
I don't want to go through it again.
Can I listen then?
No, it's fine. It was about our baby. We were holding her in a yellow room and everything was perfect.
Aw.
Except you had corn for ears.
Oh,
Yeah, my brain is in a weird place.
hold on. Look at me.
What?
Did you eat berries or something?
No? Why?
Your gums.
What about them?
Go look in the mirror.
I don't see anything.
You got to lift your lips up. Set your phone down.
Holy shit!
We can figure it out tomorrow. Let's go back to bed, baby.
Sleep, baby, sleep.
Your father tends the sheep.
Your mother shakes the dreamland tree.
And from it fall sweet dreams for thee.
Sleep, baby, sleep.
Sleep, baby, sleep.
Good morning, Jane. I'm a little surprised to see you back so soon. Feeling all right?
Tired.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is it just you today?
Damon's parking the car.
All right. So, any new symptoms since we last spoke? Jane?
No.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Last night, my gums started bleeding.
Was that precipitated by anything?
I had a weird dream.
No, I mean like particularly hard flossing or brushing.
Oh, no.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. There is actually something called pregnancy gingivitis.
Ew.
It's brought about by hormonal changes.
Why is that not taught in sex ed? That's the most effective abstinence argument I've heard yet.
Oh, you're not wrong. Since you're here, I can do a sonogram if you would like.
That would be nice, actually.
All right. Lie back and lift your shirt a bit. Oh, that's good. Then this jelly goes on your stomach. It'll be a little cold.
Yep. That's inside me?
Sure is.
I don't see anything.
Your baby is too small to see right now, but we can listen for the heartbeat.
Sure. That it? Is that heartbeat?
Yes.
Fast.
Prenatal heartbeats are a lot faster than adults.
So it's normal?
The speed is normal.
Good.
I am hearing something irregular, though. It sounds to me like a murmur.
Is that bad?
Not necessarily. Most heart murmurs are a product of normal development, but nevertheless, we'll keep an eye on it. All done. I'll wipe you up, and you can put your shirt down.
Is everything else natural?
Natural?
Normal.
Everything seems to be developing normally. Yes.
All right.
Hi, Dr. Brody. Sorry I'm late. I thought we said you were going to wait for me in the lobby.
They were ready for me.
You could have texted.
Sorry.
We just finished the ultrasound.
You did an ultrasound? And I missed it? Is there a picture?
The baby is too small to see still.
We just listened for the heartbeat.
You heard her heartbeat? Can we do it again?
Well, that's up to Jane.
I'm so tired. I just want to go home.
I'd really like to hear it.
I don't, I can't hear it again. Please, Damon, please. I need to go home.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dr. Brody.
Thank you. See you both soon.
Why didn't you wait for me?
Told you.
I thought you were abducted.
Please.
Jane, you act like I'm an afterthought.
And you act like I can't do anything on my own.
No, I know you can do everything on your own, but this particular thing is actually an us thing, not a you thing. Because however much you may want to believe you don't need anyone, I did in fact have a pretty significant hand in the making of this situation.
You're right. I'm sorry.
It's okay. What did it sound like?
It was fast.
Is that bad?
No, that's normal, it turns out. Uh,
What? What else?
Nothing. Three a.m. I have my 3-month checkup tomorrow, and I thought I heard something downstairs in the kitchen, so I went to check. Damon was still asleep, but Robbie wasn't in his usual place outside our bedroom door, so I figured it must be him, looking for crumbs under the table. I go downstairs and the light was on, the kitchen light, which Damon sometimes forgets when he goes up to bed, but there was no Robbie. Everything was where it should be, except one of the chairs was turned to face the back door like it was waiting for someone, or like someone was waiting in it, which is stupid, but then I heard a whistle, and I turned to see the kettle was boiling on the stove, so I ran to grab it. And as I did, Damon appeared beside me, shouting, "What are you doing, Jane? What are you doing? Stop!" He took the kettle from my hand. I said I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to stop the whistling, that I didn't want it to wake him. But he said he never heard a whistle. He heard me crying far away, and he ran downstairs, and when he reached the kitchen, he saw me sobbing, holding the kettle over my stomach, like I was going to pour scalding water all over myself, all over my stomach. I assured him I wasn't. I told him to go back to bed, and I'm just here in the kitchen drinking tea, but there is just something about that chair I cannot shake. Hello? Asshole. What's wrong with people?
And how many nights a week would you say this happens?
The phone thing?
No, the not sleeping through the night.
Oh, every night
For how long?
since the last ultrasound?
So 3 months.
Yes.
I can refer you to a sleep specialist.
I don't need a specialist. Isn't this just some kind of pregnancy insomnia?
Well, yes, but insomnia at any point in life can have serious health consequences, especially dire consequences for your baby. A specialist could get to the root of what's happening.
I know what's happening.
You do?
Yes, it's just something that runs in my maternal line. We're insomniacs. It can't be helped. My grandmother was entirely nocturnal.
How do you make that work with your job?
I just get through it.
And driving?
Just get through it.
I strongly recommend that you make some adjustments. Maybe work from home?
Here we are again. A little after 3. I feel like I'm ready to tear the wall down. I've been working from home for 4 weeks now. Damon insisted I heed Dr. Brody, but with my bed so close, I can't stay awake for longer than 2 hours during the day. So I'm up all night, which drives Damon crazy. Everybody says the real challenge comes after the baby is born. More challenging than this? And this dog is driving me nuts. He won't come near me. Every time I enter a room, he whines and puts his tail between his legs and slinks away. He sits at the front door and whines until Damon comes home. And some asshole keeps prank calling me in the middle of the night. Hello? It rings once and then goes dead. Not even a...
You have one new message.
Jane, can you hear me? Jane, listen to me. Listen to me. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I couldn't see another way out. Sleep was the only thing.
Shit.
You have no messages.
I don't need to go back. Believe it or not, I do know what's best for me. Dr. Brody is a quack.
You're 8 months pregnant. You can't just stop seeing your obstetrician.
My symptoms are gone.
Your symptoms are not gone. You're getting worse.
I sleep enough, just not when you want me to. Now, can you leave me alone? I'm trying to record something.
Jane, stop recording and come to bed.
You're always clawing at me to do what you want.
Jane, I'm worried about you. You're not right. When I go out, when I go to the supermarket, people ask me how you are.
I'm pregnant, Damon. Of course they ask how I am.
No, they ask because they're concerned. I can tell.
They ask because they're busybodies with nothing in their lives more interesting than the imagined agonies of their neighbors.
Jane, what? Where's this coming from?
It's coming from me, your wife, the woman who is carrying your child.
Our child.
Oh, please, Damon, I didn't want this.
What do you mean?
I didn't want any of this. I don't know how I let it get this far.
Jane, what?
Okay, I'm on a street. That way, no one can listen. I think. I think something might be happening, but I don't know whether I'm making it happen or it's happening to me. If I could just listen to that tape, the one in the storage locker, the cassette tape when we turned this tomb into a nursery. Tomb? Room. But I can't drive anymore. Damon took my keys when he caught me trying to go to Wawa. I would have been fine. I just needed strawberry milk and Slim Jims. Damon doesn't have patience for things he doesn't understand. We had a fight. So this weekend he went to see his brothers and I took the bus into the city. How quickly independence deteriorates. It felt like I was 13 and sneaking out of the house to go to a rave, except I was pregnant and sneaking out of the house to go to a storage locker. When I got to our unit, nothing was where I had left it, except everything was where I left it. It just wasn't me who left it there. Like it all belonged to someone else's mind. Every object in every box, every decision, a geometry of someone else's brain. I couldn't see myself there. I couldn't see myself anywhere. So I looked for the tape, but I couldn't find it. I had left it in a box of books, I thought. I was sure, in fact. I had left it wedged between the yellow wallpaper and a complete works of Shakespeare. I was sure. Well, the yellow wallpaper and the Shakespeare were there, but no tape. So naturally, I tear everything apart, upturn every box, dump every file, still no tape. I try to put it all back together, back where it belongs, but it won't go right. Things won't end up back where they started. And there's still no tape. Racking my brain where I had left it. Where could I have left it? Had someone found it? Had someone taken it? No. How would they? Why would they? It's a tape I made with my best friend when we were kids. We stayed up all night and recorded it. Not useful or valuable except to me. I leave, racking my brain. I've lost it. Where did Damon put it? I go back to the bus stop and The bus comes. So I lurch onto the bus with this belly. It comes with me everywhere. This belly. I cannot escape this belly. So I heave myself up the stairs and look down the aisle at seats full of grim faces. Nobody wanted to rise for the dummy who got herself knocked up. It wasn't their choice, I procreate. Except one person, way in the back, had a seat next to them and waved an arm at me, beckoned me. The bus lurched forward and I grabbed a pole and swung forward toward the empty seat. As I got closer, I saw it was a woman, the person who waved at me. My feet stopped moving. Did I know her? Her head was down, but the shape of it was so familiar. The texture of her hair was like, the only thing I could think was, I've run my fingers through that hair. I know that hair. She was looking down at her hands, I suppose, and the shape of her shoulders and her quilted jacket was like, I don't know what, it just sent a chill through me. If only she would turn her head and look up at me. I could tell myself I was making things up. It wasn't her. There was nothing to worry about. I couldn't move. Until she looked up at me, I couldn't move. Then the bus came to a screeching stop and I fell into a man and all his grocery bags, which fell too, of course. So I bent down to try to clean them up, but he jumped up and insisted, no, he would do it. And he offered me his seat and went to chase his garbanzo beans, which I'd rolled to the front. And as I sat down, I felt something brush past me. And the doors closed and the bus heaved forward. And I looked back at the woman in the back, but she was gone. So I whirled around to the window and there she was on the sidewalk looking at me. It was her. I would know it anywhere, that face, smiling, but the dead, cold eyes like they knew something damning. She stood still and watched me pull away. And from her bag, she pulled something small and rectangular and shiny. It was the tape. I remembered something. There is a kitchen and a woman sitting in a chair turned toward the back door. She's barefoot. She's in a nightgown. Her legs are splayed out beneath her big belly. Her head is limp. Her face is toward the ceiling and her lap is a brown bottle. Her long hair spills toward the ground. Her eyes are open, but they don't see me. I say to her, Mama, 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 but she doesn't hear me. Sleep, baby, sleep. Your father tends the sheep. Your mother shakes the dreamland tree. And from it falls sweet.
Jane, what are you doing?
Walking.
Where is everything?
Gone.
Gone where?
Gone away.
Where's Robbie?
Gone too.
What?
That dog had something wrong with him.
He's a shelter dog. He has trauma. What did you do with him?
Let him out. It was what he wanted.
On the street? Jane, he could have been hit by a car. When did you let him out?
Hours ago.
He could be anywhere by now. I'm going to go look for him. And when I get back, we are going to talk.
Sleep, baby, sleep. Your father tends the sheep. Your mother shakes the dreamland tree, and from it fall sweet dreams for thee. Sleep, baby, sleep. Sleep, baby, sleep. I know what it is now. And you're going to hate me for this, whoever you are listening. I hope someone is listening. Even if you hate me, I hope you are listening. I would hate to think that all this could disappear without anyone knowing. Even if you don't understand, even if you think I'm a monster, even if you murmur curses under your breath at me after I'm gone. I hope someone hears this and knows I am not my own. The day I heard that heartbeat, I knew I am not my own. I am not me. I am possessed by a creature whose physical presence in this world manifests only in the body of another. A creature who sneaks into this world through another living thing. I am a portal. Every day I grow weaker, it grows stronger. Every day I grow sicker, it grows hardier, and when someday it leaves my body, I will belong to it still. My life belongs to it. Until my body gives out and I return to darkness, I belong to it. And I begin to fear. I lack the one thing necessary to make that life worth living. I lack love. Is it possible I ever knew love? Did I love Damon? Did I love anyone? And what will it do to this creature to bring it into the world and not love it? If I'm a monster now, what demon, what hellion would I be to hold a babe in my arms and not love it? I am a monster any way I turn. I cannot escape what I am. And now that I know what I am, I cannot escape myself. But I will not bring into this world a child I cannot love. I will not leave behind tomorrow's monster. At least in this way, I'm better than her. We both go.
Jane! Oh, what have you done? What have you done? Hold on, baby, hold on. Hi, Jane. I'm recording this in case, for when you wake up. I thought maybe you would want to hear everything that happened while you were asleep. You're a detective, after all. I don't understand why you did this. And I'm so angry at you for not telling me what you were going through, for trying to do it all yourself, for not trusting me. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and all the days until you wake up and explain to me. God. I'm gonna go now. I have to talk to the police and answer a lot of questions. Oh. You left this in the nursery. In the room. I mean. I think you were looking for it before you. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.
Sleep, baby, sleep. Your father tends the sheep. Your mother shakes the dreamland tree, and from it fall sweet dreams for thee. Sleep, baby, sleep. Sleep, baby, sleep.
our Playhouse series, an original work presented in the classic radio format. Tonight, we explore the complexity of desire and fear that comes with pregnancy, and how a blessing can transform into a curse when one's body no longer feels like one's home. Okay, guys, turn your volume back on. And your cameras. I'm not sure why it's playing again. I don't know.
Hmm.
Can you guys hear that it's playing?
Not anymore.
It was. I did hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a brief moment I heard it, but it
Wait,
seems
hang
like
on.
it's good.
It sounds like it's.
We're good. Yep, we're good.
Yeah, but I've never. Okay. I just want to make sure we're still live.
We are. I'm looking at it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it sounded okay. I'm not sure what
Yep.
was happening there.
So I'm looking at it on YouTube. We're still live.
Okay. All right. Well, hey everybody.
Okay.
There is a delay, so we'll be a little bit ahead of everybody who's listening in, but we had a nice audience. So there's there's a few people listening there, some friends and family I noticed. Really great performance. That was our best one. It really came off really, really well. So you guys did a great job. It all sounded wonderful. I just wanted to talk a little bit about our play series, something we haven't touched too much on in depth in the last two episodes, because we had our playwrights with us and we wanted to, talk with them. Unfortunately, Sarah Stryker couldn't be with us tonight, but Rob and I thought we would talk a little bit about the Playhouse series. We've done this before. Back in 2022, the theme was consequences. And so when we asked for playwrights to make submissions, we wanted plays that focused on consequences and what that meant to them. This year, as you know, it was Haunted. And I have to say that all four of the submissions that we selected had a very different vision of what Haunted meant. Some of them were, was a ghost, and others it was, something that they didn't, they were, haunted by something that happened in their past, or a combination of that. In this one and in the one that we did last week, I think there was something a little more going on. It was very kind of, something something a little outwardly, I guess is where I'm going from. But I really thought that it was interesting to read these plays and try to understand the viewpoint of the playwright and how they came up with This Is a Haunting. So that's just, what did you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think it's perfect for this time of year. In the past, in the fall of 21 and the fall of 22, we did Halloween themed shows, including our very first Halloween, which was in 2020. We did War of the Worlds, coinciding with Halloween the way that the original one was. So
Right.
we felt like this was the perfect time of year for us to delve into that arena again. The Playhouse series worked really well because it was a little self-contained stories over the course of 4 weeks, and it gave 4 different playwrights the chance to hear their work done in this radio format. And something I picked up during the performance that I wanted, and I wish the playwright was here, but I do want to give her a shout out, when Jane is talking about going to her storage unit and that she swears the tape was in between in a box of books between yellow wallpaper and complete works of Shakespeare. For those that don't know, The Yellow Wallpaper is a short story by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, who was considered by many to be the female Edgar Allan Poe of her day. She was a feminist before there was even a name for it. And The Yellow Wallpaper is probably one of her most famous, and it's about a woman, I believe in the Victorian turn of the century era, who is relegated to an attic to convalesce from an illness. And she's left up there by herself, and she believes there is a woman living behind the yellow wallpaper in her room, and she slowly descends into madness. So I thought that was so clever of the playwright to put that in there, that nod to this classic piece of early horror in there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's a great little Easter egg that I didn't pick up even all through our rehearsals until tonight. And when I heard it, I'm like, oh my God, this is the yellow. This is the modern yellow wallpaper, so to speak. So it gives our playwrights a lot of ability to play and to either come up with an existing work that they might have in their repertoire or write something new for the series.
Yeah, it's really been great. And as you mentioned, Rob, we actually put this series off for quite some time just due to scheduling conflicts and time and coming out of COVID and everybody getting busy again. But I'm really glad that we had this opportunity to do it. And I hope that we can pull it together at a minimum, to do something every October. So I wanted to also talk to a little bit about, doing the voice acting for, all of you are, stage actors, and we all have worked together numerous times and in different theaters throughout the area. And I'm going to ask you, Eric, what's it like to do this voiceover acting, because it is different. And I think you're the newbie here.
Yeah. It's definitely a different experience. It's not the same as being able to be on stage and have the full physicality to be able to drop into your body, fully embody the character in the way you would on stage. All the same, though, this was a wonderful experience. I'm glad that I can add this to kind of my skill set into my resume and just overall performing repertoire.
Yeah, you did a great job. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And Danielle, I'm gonna I want you to share with everybody how we created your voice, because I think it's fun.
Let me see. Can I show you? Let's see.
Absolutely.
So this lovely bucket
The trash
is how we
can.
created my voice, and we didn't plan it that way, but it sort of happened. And whatever makes the director happy, we actors do. So
hey, it's not every day I get to say,
spoke into
could
a
you please
bucket.
pull up a bucket and put it over your head?
So that was a
Right.
nod to our very first show, The Time Machine, where I played the time traveler, and it was supposed to sound very echoey. I was in this echo chamber, and they're like, "What can we use?" And this was, I mean, we were making things up as we were going along. The Zoom technology was new, the pandemic was new, and I'm like, "Well, I have this bucket I use to wash the floor, and I put it over my head." And she's like, "That sounds great." I'm like, "Thank God the cameras are." So when we suggested it to Danielle, I said, "You are part of a very elite circle of bucket actors."
That's right. That's right.
I'm
Not
honored.
everybody.
So honored.
So, well, I want to talk a little bit about this play, because even tonight, as I'm listening to it and reading it with you guys, I had some very interesting feelings about what was really going on. So at the end, it's very, we don't really know, right? We don't know if Jane survives, if she wakes up, we don't know. Did the baby survive? What do you guys think? Jillian, what do you think?
I hope she survives. I hope the baby survives. I hope that somehow, things work out for her and Damon. But I wondered if I hope she survives. It's so complex. I had struggles trying to figure out which way to go. It was such a emotional read for me the first time I read the script, and it's scary to think that the mental health component is so real for some people.
Right. Yeah. Huh. I feel like I can't decide if her mental health was caused by being pregnant and all the hormonal changes. I mean, those of us that have had children, we know what that's like. Or if really she was haunted by her mom and what was going on there, or maybe it's a combination. I don't know. But it's very thought provoking, and I have to give Sarah a lot of kudos for making me think about this. And as we've been in rehearsal, I just keep thinking about it and wondering, Eric, like playing the part of the husband, what would how did you imagine, like, what do you think he was thinking was really going on with her? Do you think he was just like, my wife is going through this crazy mental state while she's pregnant? Or do you think you believe, her and, and what was, I mean, what do you think?
No, I don't think Damon believed that there was anything beyond like just the hormonal changes that she was going through pregnancy, and that she just wasn't coping with it well, that it was some kind of form of, I would imagine, depression that that was overcoming her.
Yeah. Okay.
But something I wanted to, it's when you were talking about whether or not she or the baby survived, as morbid as it might be, I'm curious if the baby didn't, because I feel like that's something he would have mentioned in the end as he's giving that final recording to her. And instead it's more about her, I need you to wake up to explain to me what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I thought about that too in regards to Eric, you had the line of I found this in the nursery, and then you corrected yourself and said room.
Yeah.
That was sort of the moment for me where I was like, I wonder if that's telling us something. I also am like in the camp of, I know we're talking about this a little bit yesterday, that I feel like there is something supernatural going on here, that it's not just, mental health issues. And the biggest piece of evidence for that is at the very end, the tape plays and she's unconscious. So like, it can't be her imagining it, right?
Right. Rob, can you see if we have any questions from the audience?
People said throughout that Eric got a lot of shout outs. Great cliffhanger at the end, which I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. Speaking as a playwright, people always say, oh, but there was no ending, or how did it end? And I don't always, a sign of a good storyteller is they don't spoon feed you everything. You have to sometimes fill in the blanks. And then the fact that we've had this much discussion about it afterwards is a really good thing, because you come to your own conclusion. And the playwright has done a great job then, I think. So, yeah.
No, I totally agree. It was really a lot of fun to do this. Okay. Does anybody?
That is also, not to interrupt, Nancy, but that's also a trademark of the classic radio format, where, especially the ones that were serialized, they would always end in a cliffhanger, and they became the precursors to what became soap operas on television, and some nighttime dramas was every week or every episode you'd end on a cliffhanger, whether it was Little Orphan Annie or The Shadow or something like that. So this is very true to that, classic radio format. The only difference being we don't have an episode next week to catch us up as to what happened to Jane and Damon and the baby. So.
Okay, well, I think, I think we're going to, say goodnight to everybody and thank all our listeners for listening in. We have one more installment. Please come back next week. And I think it's a very interesting play. It is The
Sweet Smell of Regret.
Sorry, Rob. Written by our very own Rob Rosello. And I think you'll find it's got definitely has an interesting twist to it. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to listen into that. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to go back over and stop the live feed, and I'll ask you guys to just hang out a little bit. But I really appreciate everyone who listened in. And it was great having you all here. So we will, we'll see you all next week, hopefully.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. And we